Hi everybody! Thank you for watching our video, and I pray that all of you are blessed by this video and all of our videos to come.
I'm Paige.
And I'm Carly, and we're going to tell you a little about our backstory. So I'm going to go first.
And I'm going to go after.
And I hope you all enjoy. So we have both grown up in the church with our parents, and we've grown up going to Awana and BBS and kind of just doing like what our parents told us to do and following in their footsteps and just going with them. And so anyway, about a year and a half ago, I got a boyfriend, and I was really excited because he was my first relationship, and he seemed like a really good guy and a Christ follower too. But it turns out that wasn't the case, and he didn't want to go to church with us anymore, and he was a narcissist and really just brought me down with him. So long story short, he ended up breaking up with me, and it was really just a shock because I thought that we were going to end up together, and we had always talked about how we were going to get married, and I was going to move to Arizona with him and his family, and I had even gotten accepted into Arizona State University. So about a month before all of that happened, he broke up with me, and I was really crushed, and that just led to a long, dark path of trying to find my self-worth, which led to sex, drugs, and alcohol. So I was never really fulfilled, but at least I had guys telling me I was beautiful, and I had friends to smoke pot with. But in the end, I ended up losing a lot of friends and my previous boyfriend, and I was just really depressed and lost. I ended up having to move back in with my parents, and their one rule was that I had to start going back to church with them, and I really hated them for it, and I didn't want anything to do with God. I was really mad at him and just was wondering why he would like let all of this happen and take it just to make my parents happy, because I knew that they would be upset and I didn't want to deal with that. So when the plate got to me, I was about to take the communion, and I just felt something like telling me not to, and it just wasn't right, and I wasn't right with God, and I just didn't feel right about it. So I let the plate pass, and I remember my mom sitting next to me trying not to cry and pretending like she wasn't, and it just like really broke my heart. But I wasn't right with God, so it wasn't right to take the communion. And then that night, she put on a Billy Graham documentary, and I was just kind of like, really, like, she's trying to preach to me, like, whatever. But I watched it because he's really gotten to me in some sort of way. Like, he's such an inspirational speaker, and his love for God was just so amazing. So while he was speaking about God's love, I got really emotional and was trying to hold back tears because I didn't want my mom to see me getting emotional over it and thinking about God or whatever. And I was just kind of like, like, okay, maybe I'll talk to someone about how I'm feeling, or maybe I'm just emotional now, and in the morning it'll be gone, like, you know. But I did my nightly routine, and I got into bed, and I just heard God speaking to me so clearly, which was really shocking to me, because that was one of the reasons I was never really close to my, like, in my faith, like, strong, because I never really heard God speak to me, so I just kind of felt like he wasn't there for me, and he didn't really care. So when he spoke to me in my bed that night, I was like, whoa, like, okay. And I just heard him saying, like, don't wait, don't wait, don't wait. So I prayed about it, and I became a born-again Christian, and I'm super excited that God has led me down this road. And I just feel such a calling to ministry and to reach out to the YouTube and TikTok community. So I'm just kind of like rolling with it and seeing where God takes me. And the next day, I actually went into her room and I was super excited about it. And I told her what had happened. And we both kind of just decided that it was good to do this together. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, so when she came into my room on Monday and told me all of this, I had just woken up and it was really early in the morning because I had school, so I was kind of just like, good morning. Like, whoa, okay. But yeah, back to me. So, as Carly had said before, we both grew up in the church, going to Awanas, VBS. I go to youth group, like, all this stuff. And so I really kind of felt like I was just a Christian by default. But then I was at Camp Zion one year, and just a few years ago, and we were talking about what it actually means to become a Christian. And it kind of just hit me that I really wasn't a Christian by default. Like, there's a process to becoming a Christian, and I was like, huh, okay, well. So one night I was talking to my cabin counselor, and I asked her if she'd go sit on the balcony with me and talk with me, and I ended up accepting Christ, for sure, so I knew I was a Christian, and things just went up from there. But then the day after I got back from Camp Zion, our grandmother, passed away. And it was really shocking to us and confusing for me because I was like, I had just accepted you into my heart, God. Like, why would you do this to me? Why would you take someone I love so much away from me? And so I went into this dark place. I shut everybody out. Maybe I only had one friend there for me. And I shut everybody out. I stopped eating. Like, it was just such a dark place for me. And then I got to thinking, God answered my prayers. It wasn't the way I wanted it to be answered, but He answered them. And from when I first found out my grandmother had cancer, she had been fighting it for 20-something years. So I was really little when I found out she had cancer, and I had prayed every night, every morning in class for her to be healed. And really, she's healed. So she's in heaven, she doesn't have cancer, all this stuff. And I realized that. And so I got back into my faith. And March 10th, 2018, I was baptized in my church by my youth pastor. And I just made the public announcement and the display that I was a Christian. And I wanted everybody to know that. And my best friend was there. July 13th, I got a boyfriend. He's also a Christian, and we really just hold each other accountable of our faith. We have devotions and all that. So yeah.
So I hope you guys all liked our story. We thought that it would be good to kind of get to know us before we started teaching you and kind of putting on video what God put on our hearts. So I hope you all enjoy, and please subscribe and like our video.
Comment down below your testimony, and if you have any questions, we'll be very happy to answer them. Follow our Instagram. We'll have that in the description box. But yeah.
I hope you guys have a great week,
and speak life.